Can I ask you something? When was the last time an unexpected bill completely changed your day? Not because it was enormous, because it arrived at exactly the wrong time. Maybe it was the washing machine, a broken boiler in the middle of winter, a trip to the dentist, or maybe your child came home from school needing money for something you hadn't planned for. The amount almost doesn't matter. The feeling does. That quiet moment, when your stomach tightens and one thought crosses your mind. How am I going to pay for this? If you've ever felt that, this story is for you. I'd like you to meet Maya. Maya isn't one woman, she's millions of women. She could be raising children, running a business, working full-time, looking after aging parents, starting over after divorce, or planning for retirement. Her life looks different from yours, but one feeling connects them all. She works hard, she tries to do the right thing, and yet one unexpected expense still has the power to steal her peace. One Tuesday afternoon, Maya's car refused to start. The mechanic smiled politely, then handed her the estimate, €740. It wasn't the biggest bill she'd ever seen, but it arrived at exactly the wrong moment. As she stared at the number, she wasn't thinking about the repair. She was thinking about everything the repair would now affect. Would they still take that weekend trip? Should she put it on her credit card just this once? The repair wasn't the real problem. The panic was. Have you noticed something? Financial stress doesn't usually begin with the bill. It begins with uncertainty. Not knowing whether you're prepared. Not knowing what you'll have to sacrifice. Not knowing what happens next. And that's when I realized we've been asking the wrong question. Most people ask, how much should my emergency fund be? But I think there's a better question. How much money would help me sleep peacefully when life surprises me? Because those are two very different questions. One is about numbers. The other is about confidence. When Maya told me she'd heard she needed 3 to 6 months of expenses saved before she could feel secure, she laughed. Not because she disagreed, because the number felt impossible. It might as well be $1,000,000, she said, so I never even started. And that's the moment this story changed. Because maybe the biggest mistake isn't having too little saved. Maybe it's believing the finish line is so far away that you never take the first step. In the next chapter, we're going to discover why one piece of financial advice given with the best intentions stops thousands of women from building an emergency fund in the first place. And once Maya saw it, she never looked at saving the same way again. One rich girl truth: financial confidence doesn't begin when your emergency fund is complete. It begins the day you decide you're worth protecting. The next time Maya and I spoke, she showed me something she'd written in her notebook. Across the top of the page were 4 simple words: emergency fund goal. Underneath, she'd listed her monthly essentials: housing, food, utilities, just the things that kept life moving. Then she'd multiplied the total by 6. She looked at the final number, closed the notebook, and quietly pushed it across the table. I'll never get there. Not because she didn't want to, because she couldn't imagine how. That moment stayed with me, because Maya isn't unusual. In fact, I think she's exactly like millions of women. We've all heard the same advice. You should have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved. And here's the thing. The advice itself isn't wrong. If you suddenly lost your income, having several months of expenses saved would be incredibly valuable. So the problem isn't the destination. The problem is where we've been told to start. Let's pause for a second. Imagine you've never run before. Someone hands you a pair of trainers and says, your first goal is to run a marathon. Would you feel inspired? Most people wouldn't lace up their shoes. They'd quietly decide, maybe running just isn't for me. Money works the same way. When the finish line feels impossible, we often never take the first step. That's exactly what happened to Maya. Every time she thought about saving, she remembered that huge number. Every time she looked at her budget, she told herself, I'll start when I earn more. I'll start after Christmas. I'll start when things settle down. But life has a funny habit. There's always another birthday, another school expense, another repair, another reason to wait. Months quietly become years. Not because we aren't capable, because the goal felt too far away. Then I asked Maya one question. What if we've been measuring success the wrong way? She looked at me. What do you mean? What if your first emergency fund wasn't supposed to protect you from everything? What if it only needed to protect you from the next thing? She didn't answer straight away. Instead, she smiled. Because for the first time, the idea felt possible. Not 6 months. Just the next unexpected bill. That simple shift changes everything. Because confidence doesn't begin when you've reached the finish line. It begins when you realize you've finally taken the first step. And sometimes, the first step is worth far more than people realize. Another rich girl truth. An impossible goal doesn't inspire action. A believable first step does. Maya walked into that conversation believing she needed a mountain of money before she could feel secure. She walked out with a completely different question. Not, how will I ever save 6 months? But, how do I protect myself from the very next emergency? And strangely enough, that question turned out to be the beginning of everything. Because once Maya stopped trying to build a fortress, she finally learned how to build a shield. And that small shield changed the way she thought about money forever. A few weeks later, Maya called me again. This time, there was no panic in her voice, only relief. You'll never guess what happened. Her car needed repairs, again. She laughed. I know. I couldn't believe it either. The mechanic handed her the estimate, just over $600. A month earlier. That number would have ruined her week. She would have spent days wondering what to postpone, which bill could wait, whether she should put it on a credit card, whether she should borrow the money. But this time, she quietly opened her savings account, paid the bill, and drove home. No panic, no guilt, no sleepless night. Did you notice something? The repair didn't become cheaper. Life didn't suddenly become easier. The difference wasn't the emergency. The difference was Maya. For the first time, she felt prepared. Maya said something I'll never forget. I thought I was saving for emergencies, she smiled. But I wasn't. I was saving for peace. That sentence stayed with me. An emergency fund isn't just money sitting in a bank account. It's something much more valuable. It's the freedom to deal with life's surprises without creating a second problem. Before, an unexpected bill didn't just cost Maya money. It often created debt. The repair went onto a credit card. Interest was added. The next month became even tighter. Saving became even harder. One emergency quietly became 3. Not because Maya was irresponsible, because she had no financial breathing room. That little emergency fund changed the story. The repair still happened, but the stress stopped there. Instead of borrowing from her future, she borrowed from her own preparation. And afterwards, she had one simple job. Build the fund back up again. Not climb a mountain. Just rebuild her shield. That's when I realized we've misunderstood what a starter emergency fund is. It's not meant to solve every financial problem. It's meant to stop small problems from becoming financial disasters. Think about the kinds of surprises life sends our way. A broken washing machine, new tires, a dental bill, a school expense you didn't expect. Most emergencies aren't life-changing, they're life-interrupting. And that's exactly what your first emergency fund is designed to handle. Not everything, just enough to stop panic becoming debt. A rich girl truth, an emergency fund doesn't remove life's surprises. It removes the panic that often follows them. When Maya looked back, she realized something else. She'd spent years believing she needed a huge emergency fund before she could feel secure. But the truth was, her confidence didn't begin when she imagined 6 months of expenses. It began the day she realized she could handle the next unexpected bill. That first victory changed something far more important than her savings account. It changed the story she was telling herself. From, I hope nothing goes wrong, to, if something goes wrong, I'll handle it. And once she believed that, everything else became possible. But one question still remained. If the first goal isn't 6 months, how do you know when your emergency fund is finally enough? Because the answer isn't the same for every woman. And that's where Maya made her biggest discovery of all. A few days later, Maya asked me a question I think every woman eventually asks. So, how much is enough? She wasn't asking about becoming rich. She was asking something much simpler. How much do I need before I can finally stop worrying? But I don't think it has one universal answer, because no two lives carry the same risks. Think about 2 women. One works in a stable job. She knows exactly what she'll earn every month. The other runs her own business. Some months are busy. Should they both have the same emergency fund? Probably not. Now think about a single woman renting an apartment. Compare her with a mother raising 2 children, or someone caring for aging parents. Their lives aren't the same. So why would their emergency fund be exactly the same? Instead of asking, what's the right number, try asking, what would help me breathe easier if life surprised me tomorrow? That's a very different question. Because an emergency fund isn't trying to protect a formula. For some women, 3 months of essential expenses may be enough. For others, 6 months brings peace. And if your income changes from month to month, or you're self-employed, you may decide you need even more. None of those answers are wrong. The goal isn't to reach someone else's number. The goal is to reach your peace of mind. Maya smiled. I've been chasing someone else's finish line. Exactly. She'd spent years comparing herself to advice that wasn't written specifically for her life. When she stopped asking, what's everyone else saving? And started asking, what would make me feel prepared? Everything changed. She wasn't saving to impress anyone. She was building confidence, 1 month at a time. Then Maya said something that made me smile. You know, I don't think my emergency fund is really for emergencies anymore. I looked at her. What do you mean? She laughed. It's a promise. A promise? A promise that when life catches me by surprise, I won't have to panic first. A rich girl truth. Your emergency fund isn't a number. It's a promise that one unexpected moment won't undo your peace. So how much is truly enough? Enough is when an unexpected bill no longer makes you feel helpless. Enough is when one surprise doesn't push you into debt. Enough is when you stop hoping nothing goes wrong, because you know you've prepared for it. That's what Maya discovered. And perhaps that's the real purpose of an emergency fund. Not to predict every emergency, but to remind yourself that you're capable of facing them. Before you go, if today's story felt familiar, don't start by chasing 6 months. Start by creating your first layer of protection. Your future self doesn't need perfection. She simply needs to know you're preparing for her. Financial confidence doesn't begin when life becomes predictable. It begins when you know you can handle the unexpected. I'll see you in the next one.